What do you do? This is your boy Jerry Speaks. What I want to talk to you guys about Into the Badlands Season 3, Episode 4, Blind Cannibal Assassins. And we definitely got this damn episode. First off, I just want to say, this episode creeped me the hell out. And I'll explain why. I never thought I would ever see blind cannibal assassins, first of all. I mean, that's one. Two, I never thought I would ever see someone befriend the widow. And three, I never thought I would ever hear MK say, "I'm gonna kill Sonny." But anyway, here's on to the review. In the start of the episode, we finally see this place called the White Bone, which I can only attest it for being possibly Chau's residence or a part of Lydia's place as the vor, you know. And so therefore, I guess the widow's actually kind of no. The way the episode started out actually was Chau. We meet Chau's brother, and we learn that he's actually imprisoned by his own damn sister, General Chau, Baron Chau, because he actually helped 20 cogs, I believe, escape her regime, and go against her. And she actually killed one of them right in front of her brother, unless he actually went after Pilgrim, because Pilgrim's the new threat. He was the one who wiped out her whole post. If you guys remember from the second episode, I believe. And so, with that being said, there's obviously blood afoot. And now it's actually pretty interesting to see that the fact that the Pilgrim is actually working with the widow to take out General Chau. I thought Chau got taken out the second season, but now I remember she did survive somehow. But we also learned a lot more about Pilgrim and why, and his and his right hand man actually. Her name is Sedestra. She's actually like I said, his right hand man. And actually, she was just telling Lydia about having faith in Azura, because she said, "Look, Azura is not a place of heaven. It is heaven. Pretty much paradise. It's not a paradise of heaven. It's actually paradise on earth." Which makes a lot of sense. Basically, it's about keeping faith. Basically, about being positive. Being optimistic. This world, you don't have to see the world so narrowly. You don't have to see it so black and white. It's pretty much what Sedestra was saying. And Lydia, I think, understood after Chau's people tried to kill the Pilgrim. I think Lydia understood why they followed, why the widow's people followed them so quickly, because it gives them a new opportunity, hope, freedom, something that's outside the Badlands. Sure, Azura isn't necessarily true geographically, but I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. But it will restore your faith of mind. It will make you more positive. It will restore your faith. That's pretty much what Sedestra was getting at, and Pilgrim, and then some. We also saw one of the Dark Ones go out to go find MK. She actually found him after MK had a bit of a verbal sparring match with Tilda, because he realized that Sonny killed his mother and wiped out his people from back when Sonny was really young. Tilda was trying to talk him out of it, because that's not who he actually is. And even Tilda's girlfriend told her, like, "Look, that's not the boy that you knew is gone." And Tilda's not going to believe that, because she knows how NK is. I mean, this guy was on opium, for Christ's sake, waiting for Sonny to come back and for him to get his gift back. I mean, because if you remember at the last season 2, there was this all-out war against the widow. Waldo was in. I think Waldo escaped or either died. I can't really possibly remember, but he lost his gift at the end of the season 2, unfortunately. He's been trying to get it back ever since. But he got it back last episode after going inside himself and realizing that Sonny Kill actually was the one who killed his mother. Now, I think with the help of the Pilgrim, possibly he'll be able to forgive Sonny and not go against him. Hell, even Nathaniel this episode forgave Sonny and actually didn't kill him right in front of his son, because he said, as he told Sonny, "Look, I can't deprive your son of what I was deprived of, which is growing up with a father. So I'm not going to listen. Listen, our beef is pardoned. My honor is satisfied." And actually, it was actually pretty interesting to see these blind assassins actually choreograph, all these fight scenes and things of that nature. Because actually, these people were of Sonny's past. When Sonny was just a little kid, I'll say like around 8, 12 years old, possibly 10, 12 years old, in order to become a Clipper, he had to do something. He finds out, if y'all remember, Baron Gwyn's son was mutilated by a group of people. We never knew who those group of people were. They're actually part of his own people, his own Clippers. So, as a way to become a Clipper, Waldo gave Sonny a sword and plucked each one of those people's eyes out, and they became cannibals. Actually, the guy they're walking towards the witch. Actually, is how they came up upon these cannibal assassins. And the guy said, "Oh, take a squat. Go ahead and eat some food. You guys must be famished." And it had drugs in it, so came up. They were shackled, they were chained. The guy said, "Look, you have only one option here: join us, or you die." Now, see, normally we kill people. Normally we would kill you, but because you have a son or whatever, we're gonna give you 24 hours to decide your decision. You either become like us, lose your sight, and walk amongst us within the darkness, or die. Sonny, of course, said, "Look, I can't do that because then my son. That means if I die, that means my son will die." Which I think which is big props to Sonny, and once more as being a father. Turns out the woman that actually was cradling Sonny, Henry, Sonny's son, actually was one of the women that he actually plucked out her eyes when he was becoming a Clipper. And she said, and that's why she understood. She's like, "Why do I feel like you will understand me?" He said, "It's because I'm the one that took your sight to become a Clipper, and I'm very sorry for that." So pretty much, like I said in my last video, this episode was almost like Sonny receiving his penance in some way. But the only difference is, thank God he didn't die. Thank God that Thandor saw that he had a kid. He couldn't let that kid. He could not allow that kid to grow up without a father. I mean, it's detrimental to a child, if you ask me. But it was really nice to see the fact that they no longer have beef, so maybe they can possibly work together someday. But then also the big fight scene between the Widow and Pilgrim defending, because it was pretty much an assassination attempt on Chau's part. And if it wasn't for Lydia's quick thinking, like, listen, only Chau brands her coggers, her clippers. So now they have another. Now the Widow and the Pilgrim have a certain have the same enemy pretty much. If you saw in the previews of the next week's episode, he even said, "Look, I am at your mercy, but right now you're at my mercy. I killed all your people, so now there's nothing left you can do." We even saw the Widow go up against Castor pretty much, and that was actually a pretty interesting fight to see Castor up against Child's brother. He did pretty well, if you ask me, but then he also did pretty well against the Widow in the trailer for next week's episode, which I cannot wait to see. I really love this show, but I wonder how this is gonna go, man, because we saw Tilda almost being killed as well, almost like she was being choked by one of the gifted, and I hope actually MK actually comes back to save her. I do. I really don't want Tilda to die because she's a really great character. I really love their storyline between her and MK. I hope it finalizes somehow. Hell, even Tilda said, "Look, even if I kill my mother, it'll never end." During their little verbal confrontation between MK and Tilda. So I look forward to next week, man. This is your boy Chau Speaks. Make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment what you guys think about the video. What do you guys think about the series so far? The fact that it's in the 3rd season already. Do you think it's gonna be renewed for a 4th one and 5th and so on? Let me know in the comment section below. If you have any suggestions as to what you guys want me to review, let me know in the comment section below as well. This is your boy Speaks. One love.